Okay, y'all, let me break down this Camron interview on the Breakfast Club. Um, and I'm gonna analyze this shit further also between both of these dudes. Um, both of these dudes, man, they had a friendship at a young age. I think, they was two big egos. I think they always had two big egos. And I think it was always a level of competition between them regarding their ego. And as you can see, this plays out. 20 years later, they've been knowing each other, what, for 20, 30 years, something like that. Cameron says since 10 or 11. And they're both probably 40 now. Anyway, um, but analyzing this further, it seems to me Cameron has more of a problem with Mase than Mase has with Cameron. Because it seems to me that Cameron can't keep Mace's name out his mouth. He can't stop thinking about Mase. He's obsessed with Mase. He goes back to Mase. It is like a little ex girl. It is like a bitter ex girlfriend. Cam is the bitter ex girlfriend. Yeah, and on another note, I don't think that Mase diss was all that like everybody blowing it up to be. And Cam, as some of those shots was true from what Cam said, and a lot of it wasn't. We're gonna have to hear Mase explanation on that. But Dame Dash also backed up Cam and said it's not true. But like the sister and uh Cam's sister and some more stuff that Mace was saying. I think Cam hit Mace harder. I just think a lot of dick riders are around with Mace right now because people like to cheer for the underdog. People don't like the bully. Just like in the Meat Mill Drake situation. People were quick to hop on Drake's dick because they could perceive Meat Mill as a bully. And today, in today's age, there's a big campaign against bullying. So that is what's being applied in this situation. People are looking at people that don't know the youngsters. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of the youngsters are dick riding Mace right now because they don't know this dude's character. This dude is a real flawed person. And the interesting thing about Mace is he's doing the exact thing he was afraid to do. He was prophesized to do. He dreamed of. He left the rap game because he said in his book that he dreamed he was leading people to hell and it scared the hell out of him. So he quit rapping and wanted to join the church and lead the people into heaven, into the right path. But he's fulfilling his prophecy of leading people to hell. He's leading people to hell. He's doing exactly what he was afraid to do. You wasn't leading people to hell with your music, fool. You're leading people to hell with the church. Ain't that a bitch? Because you're giving people, you're making people lose faith in God because they're looking at you, because you're an example of what they don't want to be. You're an example of bullshit because you quit the game to go join the church. Then when you get in the church, you're doing all type of things, all type of lustful things. I'm pretty sure you done slept with a couple of female members in the church. You divorced from your wife. You're preaching prosperity, which is nothing wrong with that. But I've seen some of your sermons and it comes off as tacky, it comes off as greed, It comes off as a selfish ass motherfucking person that just want money. And you can see why the church members left. You can see why a lot of his church members have left him. He's a confused person, and he's leading, and that's what's leading people to hell. He's confused. He's confused his church members like, fuck it, I might well just go out and do what I've been doing. This shit ain't real. That's what's leading people to hell. You have man, tainted people's faith in God, and you're gonna have to pay for that with your karma. So yeah, you doing exactly what you was afraid to do. You leading people to hell. But anyway, I don't think I don't, the people that are dick riding Mase talking about he won and shit like that, they don't know. They don't know how flawed this guy's character is. And I think Cameron's bars were more hit harder. He was more truer. Just judging by both of the lyrics, I think Cameron's bars were more truer. Look, Diddy's been gay. Well, there's rumors that Diddy's gay and all this shit. Mace gonna have to explain the dildo in the bathroom. He's gonna have to explain getting slapped, getting hit by Blink and somebody else beat him up. He's gonna have to explain sleeping with his goddaughter's father. Cameron went in on Mace, but see, people dick ride. They don't want to. I know this about people. They hate the truth. You tell some truth, motherfuckers, I hate you to death. That's what I notice about people. But Cameron has some hard ass bars. Uh, he talked about Mace was telling him deacons be getting money in the church. Was trying to get him in the church to get the scheme. Apparently the church ain't getting too much money, bro. Cause you not getting it. He wanted to be the Creflo. He wanted to be the P. He looked at Creflo as the P Diddy of churches. So he wanted to ride that Creflo bandwagon like he rode P Diddy bandwagon. He wanted to be Creflo's sidekick like he was P Diddy's sidekick. He's an awful businessman, man. He's awful with what his brand could have been. Mace could have had a brand, but he's just an awful businessman. He's thirsty now. He's thirsting out there looking for money. When man, that could have been established years ago. You could have had a brand years ago if you weren't such a fuck nigga. You could have had a solid brand years ago, bruh. But this dude is so fucked up. How can you know, his character is so fucked up. But anyway, I'm gonna stick to, well, we're just gonna go back to the beef, the Camron beef. Camron, it had some faults too, man. But the fault with Camron, and what I personally analyzed with Camron is that at the time when Mase was the man, I think Camron was jealous of Mase. I think Camron felt that that should be him getting that fame, getting that adoration, getting that attention. He should be the star. And because of the egos. So I kind of feel like Camron was jealous of Mase back then. And I also feel he's obsessed with Mase. Also feel he may be a little let down by Mase, because of the way Mase left. Maybe Mase left them in a bad fucking spot, and they had to climb their way out of it. Um, But yeah, I think there's jealousy there between Cameron on Cameron's part. Um, because they both the same. They both have that same type of pretty boy thing going on, where they got to be the man. So there may be a situation of competition there. Maybe a both alpha males competing. I can see them fighting over a girl. Shit like that. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of this comes from resentment and jealousy of Mace's star power back in the day. And I think Cam probably goes back and relives that in his mind, and that's what provokes him to diss Mace. Um, because he's probably thinking like, why y'all like this guy? This guy, I'm gonna expose this motherfucker to y'all and just show y'all how much of suckers y'all was for believing in this dude. That's the vibe I get from him always going back taking little shots at Mason shit. Uh, because Mace was the man back then, and if it weren't for Mace, Cameron wouldn't be on. Mace brought Cameron into the game, so you know, so he's forever tied to Mace. And yeah, man. Um, so yeah, that's probably what it is. I think he just jealous and don't like the adoration that what Mace get. Even how flawed and afflicted Mace's character is, he still get people on his jock. He still can get people to believe in him, and Cameron can't stand that. Which on that note, I don't blame him because he said something like that. Because that's what Cameron said in the interview. Like when Mace come back again, y'all get all hyped up and shit, and then he gonna leave. Where you dudes been all these years, all this time? He get dudes hyped up or something. He was saying like his little circle, and he leave them, and. So, you know, Cameron did some good damage with that disc. People just not people just dick riding Mace right now. But Mace need to get up. Cameron was very believable in his interview. Some shit like the true life shit, you can tell. Okay, Mace was right with that. Some shit like with the Rucker Park incident, the true life shit, Mace was right on with that. Cameron squirms a little bit with that situation, you know. Um, but as far as attacking the character, I think Cameron got it as far as because Mason is such a fucked up person. It's not hard to kill his character. It's easy. Cameron could have went in deeper. You know, deeper than that. Um, so what we get from um, so Cameron just exposed Mason as being a faker, which is true. A weakling, scary. Which is backed up by facts. Coward, same thing. Um, Scammer, fake, false preacher, scammer, maybe gay, likes trannies, all this shit, dildo, so um in the street ain't fucking with Mace either. And Mace's brand is dead. So Mace is fucked himself, man. He really fucked himself. He think he gonna come back. Anybody sign Mase to a deal, you niggas are dumb as fuck, and I hope he rob you. I heard, I don't know, Diddy was talking. Somebody was rumor was Diddy was gonna sign him to 5 million or something. Diddy is a faggot if you do that, man. Mase, get the fuck out of here. Time Mase get that money, he out. He is out, dumbass. He's outie 5,000. Don't get that man on my. Mase is like a crackhead, bro. Once he get paid, he ain't showing up for work. You got to keep that motherfucker on the string. You can't pay that motherfucker on Friday and think he's gonna be there on Saturday. That motherfucker gonna be gone. Somewhere lost somewhere. Nah, you can't do that with that nigga, boy. Seems like you would learn your lesson. Any fool want to sign this fool. Any person want to sign this fool, man. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it with that. Camron is obsessed with Mase. Can't keep Mase's name out his mouth. There's some jealousy there, some resentment also. Um, he probably can't stand the fact that Mase was over him. Mase was the man at one point. Camron probably was hating that, and was reliving that moment, feeling some type of way. and Cameron just want to expose him any chance he get. Like, this nigga's a fuck nigga. I'm like, why y'all love this nigga? He's a fuck boy. You know, that's what I get, man. Anyway, peace.